Okay, Sistas fans. Now, this is, I've touched upon things like this maybe once or twice, and they have been House of Pain focused videos, and that's really when I notice a sizable amount of viewers kind of either attacking, making fun of, or using less than tasteful word choices when describing an actor. Obviously they're going to talk about the character, like, oh, why does this person look that way, or what's wrong with this person. And in both cases of House of Pain, when the series first came back, it was like everybody and their mother was talking about Malik slash Doc Shaw, and what's wrong with him? Is he sick or something? All that weight loss something don't look right. And then in I believe it was this season of House of Pain, season 10 that just passed, in the early episodes of that's when people noticed that something was quote unquote wrong with Cassie Davis's face. And in Doc Shaw's situation, he just announced, like, hey, in my family there's a lot of health issues that surround weight, so I decided to lose some. And then with Cassie, she announced that she had I believe it was Bell's palsy. But in this situation, I'm talking about Sistas, and it just seems like people don't stop. But then again, I shouldn't act surprised, given the world we live in today. Everybody has a voice, and they're able to project their voice on social media. But what really has me just wow is the fact that Tanya, who is the new character that Preston is, currently dating right now on Sistas, there's just, a lot of people saying things about her appearance. Now, there are those who just, man, she ain't got nothing on Danni. And I'm like, you know what? Everybody has their opinion, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, wow, you know what? Preston's with that girl, but she's no Danni. Okay. But then when I read the comments that are, below said post, and I'm really focusing on the Sistas Facebook group on Facebook we have, and a lot of people are like, nope, nah, you just look at her, you can tell Preston's just using her to make Danni jealous and whatnot. And it's just like, come on, people, there's really not a lot of class. When I was just reading through the comments, just nope, she ain't got nothing. Danni is way better than her, and this and that. And there's no need of quoting any more comments. Trust and believe, there are hundreds of them. But in my personal opinion, and this is just me, I don't think it really matters if Tanya is like, I don't know, if Danni is considered an 8 and Tanya is considered a 5. Does it really matter? Because if you ask me, and this comes from only seeing less than 5 minutes of screen time between Preston and Tanya, and I think this guy is happier with her than he was with Danni, because just based on the conversation he had with Danni when she dragged him into Karen's back office, when they first met, when Danni first met Tanya, basically when she came down to the salon to start some shit, and Preston literally broke it down. It's like, you know what, she laughs when we laugh when we talk, we have common interests, she doesn't mock my heritage and whatnot. Basically, why would you, if Preston is far happier with Tanya, and she's not quote unquote more attractive than Danni, but he was miserable with her because she kept playing mind games, she kept playing hard to get, beating around the bush, mocking everything about him. I mean, which one would you prefer? Would you rather be with somebody who's hella attractive but treats you like crap even though the sex is good? Or would you want to be with someone who society might not think is as attractive as your previous girlfriend or previous partner, but at the same time, it's never a guessing game with them? I mean, I feel like, let's say if Preston eventually got his own place, which I do believe he told Danni he was trying to get a place that was kind of in between the distance of the city and where he goes to work at on the farm. That way he's not making like a 2-hour commute every day. What is it for? I forgot how long he said it was. Was it a 2-hour drive to work and a 2-hour drive back, or an hour, 2 hour from? I forget. I know it's a good amount of driving, but basically, I feel like Tanya is the kind of woman who would appreciate a man like Preston, who pays attention and takes care of her, and she pays attention to him when he just wants to talk about his day and listen to what she has to say about her day. There's no mockery going on. There's no cold shoulder. There's no making Preston feel like he's the problem when she's the one who's having an issue. I feel like Tanya is the kind of woman who Danni isn't, in regards of, like Preston called her out for, you can speak your mind to everyone except for me. I feel like Tanya would just tell Preston, like it is, like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm going through. So in my personal opinion, I don't think it matters if Tanya is quote unquote not as bad as Danni. I feel like these two seem to have a good time together. Now, I feel like when we get to the episode this week, we'll definitely see what the conversation between Danni and Preston is going to be like, because Preston's going to call Danni and she's saying, oh, I'm actually about to go on a date. And then you have Preston going over to Danni's place, and Danni's like, let me get my sheet of paper right here, because I wrote down the notes for the trailer. What did she say? You got a lot to learn about me. And that alone just tells you that's my main issue with Danni. It's the fact that you keep telling Preston he has a lot to learn about me. He has a lot to learn not to offend me. How many times has Danni actually had and I'm not talking about lecturing him. I'm not talking about dragging him. I'm not talking about ridiculing him. I mean, when was the last time Danni had a conversation with Preston about, hey, these are like my trigger spots, and these are things I'm sensitive about. I'd appreciate it if you didn't do this and that, because, that's like a bad area for me. She's never done that. She always waits until Preston unknowingly does something, because this was a topic in episode 1 about the whole, when Danni just went on a whole venting session after Preston caught her with another man. She decided to basically go over all the wrongs he's done in their dynamic, not a relationship, but their dynamic. And even though Preston rightfully said, well, I've apologized for all those things. Yeah, and when you apologize, you do it again, but in a different way. And that's a fair argument to make, but that doesn't have anything to do with him catching you with another person. But I feel like we just never had that moment where Danni discussed what, her trigger warnings are. I believe that Mignon did that TV Line article interview a while back, and I broke down how both that and Trinity's interview, they just didn't do Preston justice, because of the fact that, Danni talks about how, Preston is, Mignon talks about in regards to Danni, Preston is a grown man. It shouldn't be her responsibility to educate a white man about, black history and everything like that. And I talked about how, I don't think that's 100% fair, because of the fact that, what if, let's say, I feel like if you're a black man, black woman, if you're dating, or let's say the person you're dating, and this is like your first time, dating this person. Let's say you just started a relationship. You're in a relationship, or you're dating someone who's outside of your race as an African American, black, whatever terminology is PC or accepted within our community nowadays. And it's their first time dating someone of that ethnicity. I don't think it's fair, because, for example, let's say I was dating an Asian girl, a Japanese girl, or a Brazilian girl, Colombian girl, and this was my first time, dating someone from those respective races. I don't know what things would trigger them in regards to what's offensive, racist, big, just all those awful terms, like, I don't know what's considered offensive for that race, because I didn't live it. I don't have family members to my knowledge from those different ethnicities. And I feel like, yeah, you should have those kind of conversations. But with Tanya, I feel like, I want to be honest here, I would much rather follow the budding relationship or romance between Preston and Tanya, as opposed to see Preston and Danni try to reconcile or get back together, because of the fact that I think that well, at least to me, I'm so accustomed to just groaning at the constant will they, won't they between Sabrina, Calvin, Andy, Gary, Karen, and she's just kind of out there. It isn't even Karen, Aaron, and Karen, Zach. It's like she's in the middle trying to have her cake and eat it too, after she basically threw her cake in the trash, which was Zach, and somebody dug it out and decided to take it over to her own table, Fatima. So I think that when it comes down to it, Tanya, I don't think she's like a placeholder. Now, based on the character descriptions for season 4, there's going to be yet another woman that Preston's going to be dating later on in the season. So perhaps things between him and Tanya don't work out fully. But I do feel like it's better to try to, find someone else out there. Try to find someone who it can work with in regards to you and them, as opposed to staying in the same place, trying over and over again, the definition of insanity without a different result, waiting for someone to change, waiting for someone to come around. Preston is only going to wait so long before, for Danni to figure out what she wants. And I think that Danni just is for the streets. I mean, leave Preston be. And Karen, accusing him of using Tanya to make her jealous. Look, I could be dead wrong. Maybe Preston is using her to make Danni jealous, but in my mind, it just doesn't seem that way. But maybe I feel like maybe even if we only spent like 3 to 5 minutes of an episode, it would have been great to see their date, just to see how these two got along. I mean, that's just my opinion. But remember, like Tyler Perry said, the show's called Sistas, not Brothers, so oh well. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about Tanya and Preston? Do you agree that it really doesn't matter about looks fully when it comes to the chemistry between two people? Where I know I would rather be with somebody who I'm truly happy with than someone who, they might be, I guess you could say better looking in comparison to the girl who I'm very happy with. But at the same time, there's a lot of hell and drama that comes with that dynamic. So, yeah, let's talk about it more in the comment section below. As always, hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Also, for people who have hit subscribed and hit the bell icon and select all, try unsubscribing from the channel and then hit subscribe again. I've been hearing from other YouTubers that's been the way to fix the notification problem. Basically, YouTube has been wonky for who knows how long, but unsubscribing and subscribing again allows notifications to come through. That way you know when I post content on the channel. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And if you'd like to donate, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.